Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Ox Market Trading, live trading the futures market as we try to get funded by Earn to Trade. Looks like overnight has been very interesting. If we jump here to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, you can see first of all here on the NASDAQ we set all-time highs again. We've been doing that every day. But to do it overnight has been unusual. And this from here, this range from 301 to 424 happened in a very short amount of time. And it's a huge move up. It's giving just four clear moves. You know, a grind up, this big reversal down, and this big, huge move up, and then reversal down. S&Ps basically followed that same pattern. Although it had a little bit of a sell-off to begin its day. They went up, down, down. So some very clear moves. Copper, sideways for most of the evening, then this big blow up within 20 minutes. Its entire range in 20 minutes here, and then pull back. This range is about 160 ticks. Gold, not as smooth. Oops, wrong button. Uh, Upwards, down, grind up, pull back, up higher, then fade. About a 10-point range so far. The bonds, UB, up about a point and a half. Let's see what those signals are telling us. Maybe it might have found the bottom here. I do have a buy signal here. We'll see what it does here. Get above the SMA line. Uh, Copper. Another sell signal on copper. Looks like that's supposed to head down further. Excuse me. Oil. Kind of a tight range, overnight range for oil. A little about a 1.2 points. Russell. Russell's been going up. I believe we're right now just hitting all. No, never mind. We're not. Yesterday was all-time highs here, which is the next major resistance point, which will mark that right there. Still got a little ways to go, but we are hitting daily highs right now. Its range overnight has been about 15 points. Natural gas, range of about 2 points. Up to start, sideways, big moves down. These are very big candles. 40 tick, 48 tick. So within 10 minutes, it fell almost $1,000 per contract. Jump ahead. Let's see whether or not it's giving us cool moves or not. Copper, opposite signal right away. So copper's going to be a little bit of a problematic child, it looks like today, at least for now. I already charted out the NASDAQ overnight. And you can see here, that would have been a win, 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 that would have been a loss, and that would have been a long loss. That's before it started making its nice, smooth moves. That would have been a win. I should have been counting as I went along, huh? Loss, win. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So six wins, 2 losses. 6 times 15 is 90, 2 times 10 is 20, so 70 points in profit if traded overnight. Which is very good going into the open. Uh, Natural gas. Let's chart it out. This is where I left it last night. This would eventually went to profit. There. Now you might wonder, what makes me decide to take a symbol? Actually, why did I take it there? I don't know. Wow, that's interesting. I'm not sure why it should actually be there. And then still profit, same spot. But why did I ignore this sell signal? Because coming up, SMA line coming up, meeting it, this would have worked. But when when you're going against the trend like that, you don't want to take that signal. This buy signal was in the bands, a downward trending band. It's unusual to see him make right angles like this. So that was that. Now, hopefully, if I was using a trailing stop on this, would have continued to get more of this move. But even so, this is 400 bucks. Now, this one's going to end up stopping us out. I can see it already. Taking this long here. Hey, you know what? Maybe not. Well, see this spike up here? Would have just missed our profit target. But it would have went 38 out of 40, which means this would have ended up, when it came back down to break even, it would have stopped me out for about $100 win, because my profit target would have moved up, or my stop loss. Hi, Stubby. Am I sick? No, why? Do I sound sick? Hey, how are you? I do have a bit of a stuffy nose. It's allergies. A short position here. Excuse me. Well, yeah, let me take my Claritin and maybe that'll improve. How you been? Are you still playing? I can't even remember the name of the game anymore. Rise of Kingdoms. stop out there. Into the bands there, another downtrend there. Short. And stop out. But the worst part of this is that we didn't get into one of these buy signals that would have taken us up here, but it seems like maybe overnight this didn't make as great moves. That would have been stop out, would have went how far? 31, so that would have ended up being also a, yeah, where I would have stopped out for somewhat of a profit. This move here, that one would have finally worked. Wouldn't have done that. Wouldn't have done that. Oh, would have done that. We'll look at that here in a minute. Let's see what these signals are showing. Crude oil moving up. Moving on up. Missed the signal though, messing with natural gas. UB or not UB. Gold snaking up. NASDAQ, this buy signal, like I thought, ended up st stopping at the SMA line. It's now kind of going sideways. Russell's continuing to move up. See, this would have been some beautiful moves overnight. Say from about, did you leave again, Stabby? Stoggy? Stop? I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. I never had to pronounce it when I was just typing it. 3-point win. With a strong uptrend like this, you just want to take the buy signals. Excuse me. If you're going to go against the trend, you would only want to shoot for very small profit targets. See, like here on this sell signal, the sell signal should be just ignored, honestly. But if you're going to take it, it only went 01. It only went 8 ticks. So, you know, 5 ticks on the Russell, if you're shooting for that, it's only 25 bucks. So it's not even really worth it. But if you're, it's like here, I mean, this just immediately didn't work. Same here. Just take the buy signals. And Q. Uh, as you see, as it was moving up, I mean, honestly, we could have stayed in this trade the entire way up. Just use the EMA line here to a point as if we wouldn't want to use it all the way once it got up here. But, you know, this is 3 good $150 moves with one contract. I do sound stuffy. Eh. Let's see. Nasdaq gave us a signal. Nasdaq is. You can see here it's starting to. It's grinding down. So far, this is where the low of this move. It's come back up to the SMA, come down. But you can see here how this Bollinger Band here, the lower band, is started going sideways. So looks like we might be either reversing or at least going sideways here for a bit. The S&P actually bounced better. The S&P also oddly did not have the pullback that the Nasdaq did. That's interesting. They noticed that little divergence. Usually they run together, but the S&P is not. So while we wait for some move, let's chart out the S&P. I don't like the S&P honestly. Ooh, S&P was barcoding overnight. Yeah, this has been hard to trade. I find the S. No, sorry. Yeah, I find the ES very hard to trade. I would take the first move after a 7 o'clock Eastern, which have been that. Looking for 2 points in either direction. 2 point stop loss, 2 point profit target. I have not found anything that works on the ES better than 2x2, and I hate running a 1-to-1 risk to reward. But I never thought I'd say it. I definitely prefer the NASDAQ. What was that alert? Copper. Copper is giving us a sell signal again. None of the last 4 signals have worked. As you can see, we're ranging since this last move downward. So we'll wait. Group. Looks like this one might have been the one to take. I mean, that's only 4 ticks so far. That's okay. There's always another opportunity as long as you're taking opportunities, unlike me who just kind of sits on my hands. So this would have been a good candle. I don't know why. There we go. There we go. That would have worked. This here would not have. I don't think. Nope. Boom. So you see the S&P was very choppy. Choppy. That would have got us our 2. And it went sideways. Barcoding. I would have missed it by 1 tick, which always sucks. I marked that off as a loss. I think I don't even have any thing where that would have stayed a good trade. Would have taken a long time there to get 2 points. Would have jumped back in here. Russell calling for attention. Russell again made a slightly new high. Is now pulling back. This is where it starts making its moves. It only gives us one. Now, you can always throw on the 2-minute chart and see if it, gives us a second signal. I hear a 2-minute chart. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, crap. There. We're here. And no other signals, really? Let me make sure that the inputs, same as the chart. Yeah, so it only would have gave us that one signal. So, that sucks. Pull back here. Should not get in. Downtrending, uptrending, Bollinger Band. Next signal is here. Boom. Again, no go there. Clone there. This one would have worked. Now we start seeing, this is where it hits its top. 46.87, 50. Then starts pulling down. You notice that even though it's kept grinding up, that the SMA line started getting kind of flat. So I felt comfortable taking this sell signal here. There's a gold signal. Hold on one second. Cool. It's the hardest part about working on the charts when you're getting alerts is it keeps knocking off your indicator there. Again, that would have came down. That would have been good. Probably would not have taken this into a downtrend. It's kind of sideways. So that's the S&P charted out overnight. Not as smooth as Nasdaq. Nasdaq is sideways right now. Gold. Gold's giving us a sell signal here. Kind of choppy here on the 5. But let's bring up our gold. It's gold and then their charts. Yep. Get it on the right settings. So I'm not taking that trade now because that sell signal actually fire on a doji or a green candle here, just slightly green. So we're gonna wait, see what happens there. NQ giving us an opposite signal. NQ seems like it might be trying to curl up here. Alright, micro NQ chart. Oops, that's a regular NQ chart. Put this back down for now. I think we're going to see NQ range here, but I don't think it's going to immediately reverse, but I don't know in this market anymore. I just repaint. Here's a stronger sell on the gold. Let's go back and look at that. We have 15 seconds on this candle. Okay, so we failed. Immediately down 2 ticks. Excuse me 1 second while I blow my nose. Okay, I'm back. NASDAQ and ES giving us signals here. So since this buy signal here on the NASDAQ, we have moved up 5 points. So it's looking like I may want to curl up at least to the SMA line, which is downtrending here on the 5-minute chart. ES is more sideways. We're down 6 ticks on this gold trade. We're about to hit 8 o'clock Eastern on the East Coast. 8 o'clock Eastern on the East Coast. That made a lot of sense. And we're about to stop out on this gold trade. Or maybe not. Push back down. Crude oil giving us a signal here. Buy. Gold's kind of indecisive right now. Still, we're down 6 ticks. Natural gas. Oh, we should have took that buy signal. Crude. Gas giving us one now. Stay on sim on gas if it even stays. Nor the plat. I did stay, but I didn't get in. Pull back. We're on sim on natural gas. We're gonna buy in on that. So we filled there on gas on the sim account. Crude. That would have been an awesome, nice little move there. So didn't take that. Gold's still trying to stop us out. We needed to get back below that SMA line. Not sure it's going to do it. Seems to be going sideways here. It's one tick from stopping us. There's our stop out, $120 loss. Gold giving us, coming close to giving us an opposite signal here now. We're up 4 ticks on this natural gas trade. Looking for 40. What did agriculture do overnight? Agriculture sold off. Okay, let's put this to the side. We'll keep an eye on that as it goes. Gold. Yep. Gold came up, stopped us out, and then decided to come back down. Bonds have been choppy. So that was a nice move there on the bonds. You can continue to chart this out. We got 6 out of that of the 7 I would normally be looking for. But enough to move my profit target to break even on a little above. That would have gave us our 7. That would have been good. That wouldn't have. Not good. I don't know if I would have taken that or not. I probably would have. It would have enticed me. not have taken that, would have taken that. So gold did come back down, it stopped us out and then came back down. But it's sideways. We can mark it off. See, got in here. Stopped us out there. Actually, why isn't it showing it stopping us out there? This was open at 94.4. Where do we get in at? 94.2. That's why. Huh. So the slippage killed us, but it's still looking like it's going to be a loser anyway. NQ. NQ looks like it's trying to curl up. Right here. So far it's hit about 7 points. Looking for 15. With a 10-point stop. See if there's anything going on. Oops, did not move the Discord. Oops, oops, oops. Our natural gas trade is down 9 ticks. Again, that's on Sim. Nothing going on Discord at all. Usually by now someone's talking about the daily econ news or something. But so far nothing. So we can see this, we were waiting for this breakout of copper, and this sell signal would have been good. This would have got us our 20 ticks, plus more. Natural gas is going the wrong way. Let's chart out this rest of this copper. Well, we got nothing going on. We just stopped out on our natural gas trade for $200 loss on Sim. Now here's where it gets a little tough. This is where it got choppy on copper. And there's nothing worse than a choppy copper. Would I have entered there? This 7-tick candle upward into the bands. There was no real indication that we were in an uptrend, so probably not. No real indication we were in a downtrend, so I don't know if I would have been tempted to get in there or not. This one here, because you can see the band starting to move up just a little bit. So I think that might have been it, but I think it's still going to stop us out. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Well, it would have went far enough. It would have went 90%. So that would have gotten us, would have moved my stop loss to where it would have taken like a 4-tick win. Not a lot. Then coming back down. This would have worked eventually. over here. Down, 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 up. I probably would have tried taking that reversal. Now, after a big long move down, the best play is to take a smaller move. Trying for, in this case, it would have went 10 ticks. So, instead of going for a full 20 ticks, going for 10 ticks there would be nice. I haven't figured out how to efficiently mark that off on the spreadsheet yet, so I just do the full move, and you can see that would have stopped us out there. So that's copper so far. Let's look. So we won't count that one. Actually, we'll count this as a loss. So 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 and 3, 12 and 3. So 12 and 3, not bad. I think it's 75% win rate. And look at that fast math this morning. Okay, so we're moving down pretty quick there in copper. Getting close to the low of the day. My email wants to now send notifications, so let me just go over there, block that out. See, what were those alerts? ES, PL, GC, and G. So ES, let's see what ES is doing. Buy signal here on the ES. Went away again. There's back again. We got 20 seconds. Let's find our chart. ES. Ooh, big pullback by the time I found the chart. So it's teasing us. You can see the NASDAQ is almost completely sideways. Oh, hey. Hey, Deco, good morning or afternoon or whatever it is where you're at. Uh, Yesterday I got a couple good trades, I got a couple bad trades. Ended up slightly red on the day. Frustrated because when I stopped trading and started working, then things went really well. And I would have got a bunch of good trades. But, yeah. Yeah, I definitely need to figure out an economic calendar. Hold on, let me find one. Econ calendar. Uh, oh yeah, non-farm payrolls. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely need to stay flat. Canadian unemployment rate as well, American unemployment rate. So yeah, non-farm payroll day. That's the goal. crude oil. So you can see, so since we're going to kind of stay flat now until payroll report, we can chart crude overnight. Been good. As crude was going down, they did give us some pullbacks. This one might have faked me out, I'll be honest. So the downtrend had been going on that long, I would have thought this was a quick reversal, and this would have been, probably would have caused me to stop out right here. Back in there. Would not have gotten in there. Would not, maybe. Yeah, probably would have. Try and make this worst case scenario, so I do take, not sure that would have tricked me or not. Which one made me miss this move upwards? But I would have caught this one. Oh, this one didn't go my entire way. Or maybe it did. Boom. Nope. Long position here. Just would have got it in one candle. Good morning. Welcome to everybody who's joining me this morning. Please feel free to say hello in the chat. Ask questions, make statements, whatever. Let me know if someone's alive out there besides Deco, who I thank for joining me most every morning I'm on. I would not have done that. Would not have done that. That I would have. A lot of signals firing, real rapid fire here right now. This would have stopped us out. And you can see this move here on crude. That gave us our 30, excuse me, our 30, and immediately, almost immediately reversed. Down below the SMA line, I'll buy that for $1. See if that what that does. So now crude's caught up. You know, that's annoying. Awesome. I'm good. Thank you. Oh, stretching here. It's early. I need to catch up on some sleep tomorrow. Looks like gold. I'm sorry, copper. That's an interesting move that copper's made here. Within 20 minutes, it went from its low of the day to its high of the day. Pulled back, tried to curl back up, and then just dumped all the way back down to the low of the day. And this has all occurred in the last 4 hours. Up, curl, down. So over 4 hours, it went up. It went up $2,000 a contract, down $2,000 a contract. Gold finally did stop us out there. Big move down here on gold. 12 tick candle. But it's getting kind of weird because you've seen this big candle here as well. Seven minutes away from non-farm payroll report, which is probably why everything's kind of sideways right now. Everybody's waiting for that report. Pardon me again while I blow my nose again. Okay, back. Natural gas. It's gas that is natural. See, the natural gas has just been choppy. Look at these rapid fire signals. Sell, didn't work. Buy, didn't work. Sell. Yeah. 128. And then back up. This buy definitely didn't work. Sell, didn't work. Buy, didn't work. Sell, didn't work. But ironically, we had gotten in on this first. Actually, I think it probably would have stopped us out. Never mind. So even though we ended up downtrending, basically, it looks like this is the one that would have worked. Yeah. So if we had gotten in on this one, I would have got us where we wanted to go. NQ. NQ's starting to curl up. Maybe it knows something. Non-farm payrolls. Let me jump on Twitter. See if that we're seeing anything about non-farm payrolls. So, seeing an analyst predict that if today's non-farm payrolls misses, we could see a bullish rally in gold. I don't know if any of that's true or not. Economic, uh, they're expecting to see a gain of 450,000 in non-farm payrolls. So we'll see what kind of number comes up. There's times I still can't believe that I care about this stuff nowadays. That depends on which asset, and also depends on time of day, Deco. For the Nasdaq, I'm usually looking for 60 ticks. For gold, 20. I'm sorry, for copper, 20. For gold, 16. For natural gas, 40. For oil, 20. For the UltraBond, just 7. And then during this time of day, where right around the open, in the New York Open, I increased that and I increased the stop loss. But I am trying to get more dynamic where if I see where the market's slower, I might shoot for something less because that way you kind of eliminate some of that chop. We have 10 seconds till this report comes out. And I don't know how people react to these reports so quick. There we go. Ooh, big move down here on the Nasdaq. Let me refresh Twitter and see if we got a number. Okay, it beat the estimate. U.S. October non-farm payrolls 531,000. They expected 450, and the U.S. October employment rate was 4.6%. Estimate was 4.7. So it's a good report. Okay, so we see the Nasdaq just selling off, and the ES is going up. Let's look at this Nasdaq here. It's already down about 8, 9 ticks, 10 ticks. I'm sorry, points on this. This is just free falling right now. Let's see what gold's doing. Gold, free fall. Made a new low of the day by a whole heck of a lot. Should have taken that signal there. That would nice. ES. ES now is joining NASDAQ and bleeding out. Russell. Russell says, what non-farm payroll? I'm going up anyway. Copper, choppy. Chopper copper. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, and I apologize. Bonds, indecisive. So now it reversed. Big move upwards here. Big bullish move. Gold's still going down. I mean, kind of. Gold's still going down. Bonds going down. Uh, Oil doesn't care. Shingles doesn't care. Yep. So we do have a buy signal here on copper. Copper set a new daily low before this. A buy on the 5. I don't know. We missed this buy signal on the 1 here. That would have stopped us out in the next candle. These are big candles. This 5-minute candle here is about $700. Big move up here. I don't know if this is in response to the non-farm payrolls or something else. Pop copper. Papa copper. Papa copper. Papa copper. I'm sorry. S&P has made a new daily and all-time high. It's now 10 points away from 4,700, which is amazing because just a few days ago we were wondering whether it was going to hit 4,600. Nasdaq continues to go upwards. Let's get some FOMO. Never give in the FOMO. I'm giving in the FOMO. And we're gonna get in on 2 micros. See if we can get something out of this. I should have jumped in with micros earlier. Slowing down a bit here. Let's check gold because gold. Ooh, big rebound here on gold. Let's find our gold chart again. There. Got 15 seconds on that. Close this trade for just buy market. Okay, we're in on gold. Hopefully that's going to continue to go our way. Closed our NASDAQ. Oh, stopped out on gold that quick. Wow. Holy crap, nothing's working. I should have moved it to the higher volatility. Yeah, just totally messed that trade up big time. I didn't go to the higher volatility. This would have been a winning trade. And I kept it at the low stop loss. I'm gonna have something in here for high volatility, which is a 25 tick stop loss And we wouldn't have got kicked out of that trade, and I wouldn't have taken that loss, and I didn't move it. So sick of making unforced errors. Copper's also now moving up nicely. It's going up $750. S&P continuing to make new highs. Almost at 4,700. Bonds, big move up there as well. Bonds made a new high of the day. ES pulling back, NASDAQ pulling back. So what was the extent of this move here on the NASDAQ? It went, it would have got us our 30 points. So, Russell, way new high of the day. Big wick on that. Look at that. Look at that big wick on that tiny body. And that's a new all-time high as well. Crude's kind of sideways, giving us a sell signal, but I don't know. The last several shorts failed. So copper got back to the SMA line here on the 5-minute and then bounced off. Kind of pulling back again. Gold sending us an opposite signal of what it did give us. ES. I heard a ding. And Q pulling back now. Sell signal. It's interesting. If you look at the 5-minute chart, we had that big 30-point move upwards. But overall, the SMA line's still in a downtrend. I mean, it did give us a buy signal on the 5-minute, but the SMA line's still in a downtrend. Everything's kind of taking a breath now. Copper's just hanging right around that SMA line on the 5. Trying to curl back up here on the 1. So we're just kind of watching now. Everything's kind of sideways that they're taking that breath. Gold here is still indecisive. Let's mark off that trade on how I would have taken. I think it would still stopped us out. I would have been shooting for 35, and yeah, so we wouldn't have got there. Would have got up to, let's see how far. 28 ticks. And I think that would have been enough to get us where we stopped out a little above break even. Either way. All the good moves seem to happen overnight. Now, if we look back here on gold, I didn't finish charting out gold. Oh, well, we're not doing anything. We can chart out gold. Gold seemed actually a little choppy overnight. Yeah, it's interesting. This buy signal came way back here, and it went all the way to here. So how much was that? 90. That was a good $300 move. We wouldn't have got in because we were still in here. This obviously would have worked. 1.6 there. Big move upwards here. Jumped in on that. Would not have gotten the goal, but would have over there. Big move down, but uptrending SMA line probably would not have gotten in. Curious though, 97 down to 96.6. So that only gave us 4 ticks, really? Oh. No, wait, maybe I looked at that wrong. Yeah, I was right. So buy signal here, hit the band. Would not have taken. Buy signal here, hit the band. That's interesting because, I mean, these would have worked, I think. Maybe not. Let's see if this would have worked. Yeah. So maybe I gotta need to look at that whole hitting the band on the 1 minute thing. Hungry. Sell. So you see, gold would have been good overnight. Very good. I really wish I could start trading overnights. Would not have taken this, even though this ended up working. Wouldn't have taken that. Would have taken this. It's very, you gotta make sure if you're doing something like this to test out your strategy, that you're very honest with yourself of what you would have not have taken as you're going through it. Now this one, this got within 1 tick of our profit target. So this one I would have stopped at it like maybe 5 ticks profit. Uh, would have taken this and it would not have worked. You want your data to reflect real real what you really be doing. If you're lying to yourself, you're not doing yourself any favors. And sometimes I struggle with that. I'm like, I want this to work, so I'll try and say, yeah, I would take this here, and I really wouldn't have, or I wouldn't have taken this here, and I would have, and that doesn't help anything. I would not have taken that. I would have taken this, which would have stopped out. I think I would have taken this because we weren't in big much of an uptrend. Sometimes it's an iffy. Would you have? Would I have? Wouldn't I have? And it's hard to say what I would have done in getting a signal and having like a minute to think about it. But so would not have, even though it would have worked. And then we're here. That wouldn't have worked. I would. It didn't take this, and I wouldn't have. But it might end up working. I'm not sure if it would have stopped us out yet. So that's gold up till now. Uh, Crude oil. Pit opens in 5 minutes for crude. So we're wait there. You can see here that natural gas has been trending down. We would have got two straight 40-tick winners off these signals. We actually had three straight winners. This one would have stopped out. That one stopped out. So that happened after three straight losers. Up and down. But here's the thing. I'm running a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So three winners, even 50%, three winners, three losers. 60 ticks and losers, 120 ticks and winners, 60 ticks, $600 even at 50%. You can see here going backwards, we're more than 50%. One, two. This one would have gotten in the profit, so we won't count it. One, two, three in a row. This one was a loss. And then we had the three losers in a row, and then the three winners. So we're at 6-3. 6 times 40, 240 minus 60, 180. So we have $1,800 if we had taken every trade on natural gas. Actually, this would have been a six. Since this trade would have been after 6, this would be a 60 tick winner. Ooh. Coming up on the 9 o'clock hour, 30 minutes to the New York Open. NASDAQ still sideways since its big move up after the non-farm payroll report. Copper, copper, and crude copper. Another move down here. Big move down. After rejecting off the SMA here on the 5 minute. This is a big candle down. Okay, so it's now up. Okay, so here we are, half hour before the New York Open. Okay, big move down in crude here as the pit opens. Russell's squeezing. Gold still sideways. Nasdaq still sideways. Bonds sideways. Noticing a theme here. Sideways. 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 So thank you all for joining me this morning. Coming up on the New York Open here in the next half hour. Already had one major news event, the non-farm payrolls. See how that, you know, is a good report. So the economy is looking stronger. So we'll see how that affects the Open. Maybe we can find a good trade out of the Open and get some green today. If you have any questions or just want to say hi in the chat, I would appreciate it. Comments, statements, insults, whatever. Crude staying in range here. You can see it's basically been ranging now for several hours. Do I have a favorite future? Oddly, my favorite uh, has been copper. Copper's been what normally was doing really well for me. Last couple of weeks, it's me and copper been kind of fighting a bit more. You know, having relationship issues, but copper overall has been my favorite. I think gold's probably my second. So I see the trend toward metals. Speaking of gold, it's giving us a signal in here. I wonder if it's going to continue. Uh, oh wow, never mind. I mean I I wasn't on the ball there. This is already going up 8 ticks. Don't want to jump in late, especially since this is taking up almost the entire length of the bands on the 5 minute. I think if I put them in order, I'll take it. I'll go copper, gold, uh, then the Nasdaq. I'm starting to get used to, and then the Russell, and I'm really liking natural gas. I haven't not really taken the chance of trading it in the gauntlet yet, but I like the way it moves. And the bond, the ultra bond, and then trailing at the end would be crude oil and the ES. I don't. Everyone likes the ES, but I just find ES much harder to get a handle on compared to even the Nasdaq. I know a lot of people like crude oil, but crude also seems, I don't know, not as fluid to me as even natural gas has been since I started tracking it. I know most people try to stick to just one or two assets. A, I find that boring. I think B, I think it'd be boring to do for a stream. And three, yeah, I like the idea of being able to trade multiple assets only because if some asset starts going into a range where it's just not giving you moves to trade, you won't be able to move to something else. Yeah, I don't know. ES seems like it's changed. It just seems very hard to. I always try to find something better than a one to one risk to reward, and I just can't seem to figure out. I mean, when I'm do looking at, when I look at the ES, I'm actually running a two by two, and that seems to be working some, but I don't like doing a one to one risk to reward. I prefer at least 1.3 to 1 or up to 2 to 1, but I just can't seem to get that on the ES, and I'm not sure why that is. I've heard people say that it's like 70% algorithms now, algorithmic trading. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. So I don't know, but I'm staying away from the ES for the most part. The ES and the Nasdaq almost make the same moves. Just the Nasdaq's moves are better. Yeah, I think I jumped in an ES trade 1 or 2 days ago, and I made like $100 out of it. If I had jumped in the Nasdaq at the same time, it'd been like 300. So, and at first, the Nasdaq just seemed too wild. It was a moved quicker, but now it seems like I don't think it's slowing down. I think you just get used to it more, and it starts, it doesn't seem as fast. Yeah, if we look at the Nasdaq yesterday, let's go back in time. I got frustrated myself yesterday because I started working. I got off stream and I started working. And got off stream right around here, no, right around there. Like right as I got off stream. Look at this. These are 15-point wins on the Nasdaq. 1, 2. This was a loss, so 2-1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-1 out of the last 9 trades on the Nasdaq on my signals would have been good for 15 points. And that's just, that's frustrating. Yeah, it does seem fast, but the more I look at it, it becomes slower just because you get used to looking at it. I couldn't, up until a month ago, I didn't look at I mean, I had the Nasdaq chart up, but it was more to compare what it was doing to what the ES was doing. So, I'm just trying to follow the signals, and I'm starting to learn the signals here now on Nasdaq. And honestly, the way things have been going lately, you could. This is the daily chart here. You could pretty much, for the last month, you could almost just plot, as soon as the Nasdaq opens, go in with a contract, and you would be in profit. 66 points today, 201 points yesterday, 168 points the day before, 67, 55, 73, 49, 154. 2 red days back here, and that's been it. 100-point day there, 156, 108, 97, 273, 111. These are just crazy times. I mean, this uptrend is it's amazing. And actually, the same is also true, honestly, with the S&P. Just not. I mean, it also has only had 2 green days since the 20th, no, 13th of October. Let's see here. 74 points, 33, 15, 33, 16, 13, 5, 21, 7, -20, 43, 9, -8, 17, 28, 21, 20. 2 green days out of 5, 10, 15, 17. So, I mean, You have to think a correction's coming here somewhere, but I've thought that for a while. Right now it's kind of squeezing here between the bands, waiting for some sort of movement. Move up here on the NASDAQ. This is a 5-point candle. Copper, give us another buy signal here, then immediately pull back. We're seeing big candles here. These, this would have stopped me out, even though it doesn't look that impressive. Sometimes having the bands on can make candles look bigger and smaller than what they are. Objects in the rearview mirror may appear smaller than they are. Then this would have went. Now, I have toyed with using the ATR line as a stop loss. So let's, we're 15 minutes to the open, so we have a little time to play here. So if I had gotten in here, ATR line was all the way down here. So it's been about 27 ticks. So I would need to set a profit target of, say there, for 1.3. So that would have been 35 ticks. So let's see if it gets there. We can look at some of these others as well. See whether or not, let's see what natural gas is doing here. Oop, big candle up, but kind of bounced off the EMA line here, just trying. Is that the SMA line on the 5-minute? Big downtrending SMA line you see here. So it's kind of bouncing there. So let's look here. As you can see, this would keep us in the trade. But how much you're willing to risk. If I gotten in here on the SPY signal, pulled back enough that it would stop me out based on my risk reward. Based on what I look for. I usually do 20 by 15. So if I had gone all the way down here to the ATR for the trailing stop, I'm sorry, just for the regular stop loss, that would have been 40 is 8 ticks, 8, 28 ticks. Thank you. So we would needed, let's see here, to get 1.3. I mean, it would have worked. So that is something I want to look at. Hey, Rich, how you doing? I'm going to be silent here for a minute while I eat some breakfast. So using the ATR line here would have worked out. We got it at 1.3. This would have given us 1.3. So this is something I want to look at more. The only problem is it's not easy to enter. It's easy to enter a trade in the Ninja Trader that way, because then you're not using the ATR, or I mean, you're using. I'm sorry, you're not using the automatic trade management. You got to set everything yourself. So definitely something I'll look at. I'll probably do some analysis of that over the weekend. So how you doing this morning, Rich? Make any trades yet? Still, still euphoric from yesterday? Well, I'm glad it happened while you were here interacting with the stream. I'll take some credit for it and say that I gave you some luck. Natural gas looks like it might want to push down even further. See how far it goes. I think we're at, no, we're not at the low of the day yet, though. Low of the day occurred back here at about 3:20 Eastern. Yeah, I noticed that with the Nasdaq and the ES. Yeah, the ES. It's ES is just made a new daily all-time high. Seem like I say that 5 times a day anymore. Nasdaq had this big pullback that the S&P really didn't have. The S&P kind of had a sideways period, but that was it. But both, made all-time highs again overnight. The moves overnight were awesome. I wish I had been here for them. I really want to start trading overnight. Oh yeah, the bonds are, yeah, bonds big move. Kind of missed that. Let's see. Yeah, bonds are breaking out. Excuse me. Up about a point in the last half hour. 5 minutes till the U.S. Open. I don't mean the tennis tournament. Getting my supplements. Get those down. Oh wow! Look at that big move on. Look at that big move on the bonds. It's just breaking out here. This is that 11-point candle here on the 5 minute. I'm sorry, tick, tick, 11 tick. 11 points would be a lot of money. Uh, got too many things going on at once. Continuing to push up here. Be interesting to see what happens with the bonds at the open. So, thank you all for joining me this morning as we head into the open. We're about a minute 45 away. See, the UltraBond and the T-bonds are still just going up. This is now a 20-point candle on the 5 minute. 20 points on the, I'm sorry, ticks, ticks, ticks. It's ticks, not points, ticks. That's well over $600, $700, somewhere around there. Switch over to the NASDAQ and the S&P. That's what we would like to watch here at the open. But we'll switch back to those bonds to see how they react to the open. We just hit another all-time high and daily high on the S&P by like a tick, but and it got within 3 ticks of 4,700. See if we hit that at the open. We're right at all-time highs on the Nasdaq now as well, which was 16,423.75. We just hit 20.75, so we're about 3 points off. See what it does at the open. 15 seconds. There's the bell. Pull back on the Nasdaq. S&P just kind of sitting there though. There's a pullback. Bit of indecision. 20 point pullback here on the Nasdaq. S&P touched one tick below 4,700. The indicator giving us a sell signal on the S&P. Not listening to it. You never know how this is going to shake out. Let's see what bonds did here. Bonds pulled back at the open. Russell's iffy. Got some indecision here at the open, really. I mean, nothing too crazy right now yet. Gold. Gold shot up uh, right before the open. Wow, that was a big move up. Established a new daily high. That was almost a 7-point candle. Crude, sending us a sell signal into uptrending bands. Natural gas has established a new daily low. Yep, looks like we're starting to see some green here. Green on the NASDAQ. We're going to find our NASDAQ chart here on NinjaTrader. And if this stays together for the next 30 seconds, we're going to, oops, there it went. Let's see, the S&P hit, yep, the S&P still has not been able to get above that one tick below 4,700. I don't know, maybe I don't want to take this buy yet. Let's see if it can break that earlier high. And there it went. Did break the earlier high. Both new all-time highs, new daily highs, but it's still struggling. It didn't go through that with power. Pull back. So established the high of 427 and a half and then pull back. ES did break 47 by 2 ticks and then also kind of pulled back, but now it's trying again. These aren't strength moves that you would expect. ES looks actually like it might be a little bit stronger right now than the NASDAQ. Yep. ES is now at 47.02. So that would have been the better play right now. I'm going to put our NASDAQ chart aside for now. And actually, you probably didn't even see that. I think I have it on the wrong thing. So, yeah, I do. Okay. Either way, yeah, we got 2 red candles on the 1-minute chart. Let's see what bonds are doing. Bonds pulled back. Gold pulled back. Copper kind of sideways. Copper didn't care. Russell. Russell. Russell's just saying, okay, let's just go forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever up. Gold gives a signal. Gold pulling back. And sideways on the energies. So nothing really. Oh, there's the move on NASDAQ I was waiting for earlier. Crap. Rich, you doing anything? S&P now hit 4704 and a half. Maybe this move was. I thought this move was going to continue on Nasdaq, and it's not right yet. Let's try to see if it gets more oomph. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, I thought this NQ move was going to be stronger than it has been. I'm here on a micro. I'm down 15 bucks, or 2 micro contracts. Try to see whether or not it's going to break. S&P is the stronger one today so far. S&P is just continuing to make its new highs. It's up to 47.0550. So it opened at 97.75. So it's up almost 8 points. There's the NASDAQ. There it goes. That's that strong move I was looking for. I'm curious, Rich, if you don't mind me asking, what makes you decide between, because they all seem to run kind of similar, between the NASDAQ or the YM or the ES? What makes you decide one or the other? Oh, big pullback here on the Nasdaq. Then back right back up. Yeah, we were up as much as 30 bucks on this trade. Now it's back down to 10-ish and break even. Seems like it wants to pull back here. This is the nerve-wracking part about the trading the Nasdaq. The way it just palpitates between, it can palpitate like 5, 10 points at a time. You said you took a trade on YM and then you took a trade on NQ, and I like YM, NQ, and ES all kind of make usually run together. Not always, but usually. What makes you decide to choose one over the other? Now, okay, so the question is this the exhaust of the move or is this just a pullback? That's just the question, because right now, ouch, we went from being up $30 to down $30. Big pullback coming to the SMA line here. Ooh, 20-point pullback. Ouch. Bounce off the SMA on the one. ES is not having the same pullback at all. There we go. This is why you give it breath. You hope it comes back. Uh, Down 40 bucks on this NASDAQ trade. Took two losses on gold earlier, so today has not been a good morning so far. Ah, we're going to get stopped out. Yep, there we go. Stop out on the NASDAQ. About 80 bucks. So I bet on the wrong horse this morning. I should have went on the ES and instead I went NQ and that didn't work out. Now, let's just see something now. I jumped in, I waited for this break and it got in late. If I just followed this signal here, where would I be? If I followed that signal and got in on that signal, which occurred at 3 minutes after the open. Whoa, why did that happen? Uh, I could have got 25 points out of that. I would normally be shooting for 30. I think my trailing would have moved up at that point in time though. So, and I would not have already stopped out on this trade. So I would still be in this. Let's just see how that plays out. See if it's going to make me cry. As the ES is out ahead of 47.08. That makes sense. I was just curious, I, you know, I remember, I used to look at all four. Yes, I haven't really been looking at the Dow lately, just because I've been trying to consolidate and not look as many things, and it seemed like they were just similar to everything. So I kind of cut out tracking the Dow. But so I was just curious what why one over the other, because I know when I was doing all four, the Russell, the Dow, the ES, and the NQ, I would just decide to choose one, and I didn't really have any rhyme or reason on why I chose one over the other. Yeah, it did, Rich. It did. It was just a curiosity thing because I could never decide when I saw all three or all four were running in the same direction and they were all sending me like a signal at almost the exact same time. It was always which one should I get in, and I just kind of threw a dart at the screen, and then I have to replace my screen, and then decide to get which one in or whatever it is said. Gold sending a signal? Nothing's really sent me many signals since. So gold definitely pulled back from this big move right before the open, and it's pulled back by 770 ticks. Copper, yeah, that kind of sucks. I was paying attention. I was watching the Nasdaq and ES, and this sent us a beautiful signal. Copper's been working well all morning. Bonds did pull back to the ATR. See if it bounces off the ATR. Oil selling off. So following the signal at 8:32 or 9:32 would have gotten us our 30 points. So every trade that I could have done besides the Nasdaq would have worked. It just seems to be my luck. You can see though, if I would have got in on the signal, I would not yet be out of that trade, although I would be down 7 points. ES, stop me if you heard this one before. New daily, new all-time high on this 5-minute candle. So 47.09 and a quarter. Now a 33, 43, 42 point range on the ES today. Russell hanging out at its all-time highs. Natural gas. Ooh, big green candle on natural gas. 35 ticks. Wonder where that came from. It's interesting. When I first started really tracking this stuff, I was using the 5-minute chart. I wasn't even looking at lower time frames. And you can see here that on the 5-minute, we just now got this short signal, which comes 12 minutes after we got it on the 1-minute. And there's a big difference there. I mean, we've gone down, you know, 40 ticks between those, which is why I started going to the earlier time frame chart. So was it just bad luck, or was there something you did differently on the sim trades versus the regular account trades, Rich? By the way, for those of you that don't know, if you people on YouTube are wondering who the heck I'm talking to because you see me responding to somebody, you don't see any actual like talking, any chat. I use Restream, which allows me to stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And here's you can see I can chat to both places at once in one chat. So I'm talking to Rich here, my friend 1911 Rich here, who got rich yesterday with a good $3,000 win on the NQ. And so that's why if you hear me responding to somebody who don't see their see them actually chatting, it's because I'm on Restream. At one point, I'm gonna figure out how to set up my screen better so people might be able to see this chat. Oops. And so everybody can see the chat. Maybe something skinnier like that where people can see it. Put it somewhere, I don't know, somewhere out of the way, like right there or something like that. Oh, work on that. Still working on making this whole stream thing better. I never streamed before starting this, and I'm learning a lot as I go. Looking on making the YouTube page prettier. That makes sense, Rich. I can understand that. Good risk management's, a good thing, but sometimes it can get in the way too. Sometimes it can cause you to end up missing something or stopping out earlier than you would want to. So again, here's a good comparison between the 5 minute chart and the 1 minute chart. On this signal, we could have got, let's see where, this is our low. We could have got up to 43 ticks out of that move. This one is looking like it wants to reverse. Maybe it won't, but the point is, at this point, we will be up 2 ticks versus 23. So that's why I now trade off the 1 minute chart. And I tell me, I try to, if I miss it by a minute, like if I see a signal and it depends how much. I mean, if it's going a couple ticks, it shouldn't matter because I was trading off a 2 and a 5 minute chart up until last week or so, or last 2 weeks, and that was still profitable based on my numbers. So it shouldn't matter if I miss it by 1 minute, unless it's like a huge 1 minute candle. It is harder to trade off a 1 minute chart just because you need to react faster. But that said, looking at the signals on the 5 minute chart, most of the time they would work. You just need the higher time frame. In the higher time frame, you go more of a stop loss because I don't know. So like most of these, this one would have worked. This one would have worked for one candle plus. This one would have failed. This one would have failed. This one would have worked. This one would have worked. This one would have worked. This one definitely would have worked. Yeah, it's interesting. Usually you don't see it grab a candle in the first big move upwards, but it did there. Then this would have worked, and this would have worked. although you would have a big pullback here. But so I mean, either way, the only thing is you definitely don't want to like go signal to signal because you can see here, we went all the way up to here to 437.35, and it finally fired the signal, the opposite signal at like 433. You would get back almost $1,000 in profit if you had waited for the opposite signal. Bonds, bonds came back and trying to curl back up. What's the ESNQ? Ooh, so big sell off on the NQ and the ES. Best. So let's just see. So this would have that move that stopped us out would have stopped us out no matter where I gotten in at. So now the curiosity is getting in on the sell signal. Would that have gotten where would have that have gotten? That would have gotten our 30 points, I think. Let's see if it would have. Oh, it wouldn't have stopped us out. That would have got our 30, much more, even more than their 30 points. We see the ES pulling back a bit. Russell did increase its all-time high just a bit. A 47-point range right now in the Russell. That's huge. Huge. So, Nasdaq, if we look at it overall here, started moving up here before the open, and it actually got 30 points before the open. This candle right here was our open. It sent us a signal here. We would have got 25 points off of that. And at that point, I mean, that's $500. So there's no way I'm letting that go back down to a loser. So I would, my trailing stop would have moved up to, I don't know, I gotta look. I'm not even sure what I have it set at. Let's look at it. NQ 3020 custom stop strategy at 20 points. The stop loss moves to 15, and at 30 points, the stop loss moves to 40, 40 ticks behind it to 10 ticks behind it. So, I don't know, I confused myself there. I think we got 5 or 10 points out of it. I gotta look at, this week I gotta look at all these stop strategies. I might have adjusted by now, do something else. So, the downward move was the move to go to. Which is interesting because I thought we would see continue move higher with the good news, good unemployment. Excuse me 1 minute. Sorry about that. Back. And Gia. So natural gas, you can see here, is still kind of playing with us. I look for 60 ticks at this time of day. Wow, big. Okay, hold on. Let's go see what's going on with the indices here. Oh, now we're back, heading back upwards. So, so maybe I was right that we are going to see bullish natural gas. So as I was saying here, it honestly the trade would have ended earlier anyway because it hit 52 ticks from this entry point. So once it started pulling back on this big green candle, we would have stopped out for a $100 gain, maybe 150. Now it's pulling back, so we would have re-entered probably here. And I should have entered here instead of just talking about it. Excuse me one more minute again. Okay. Back again. Sorry about that. My life is a little crazy at times. Big wick down, then pull back. Excuse me. Uh, Back to NQ and ES. We see we're moving back up. So now we'll see if I should have taken this buy signal. Either one of them. Got distracted and I wasn't really paying attention. So that ES buy signal would have already given us my 2 points. As it said, hey, stop me if you've heard this one before, an all-time high. 47.11. NASDAQ, recovering from that bottom out earlier. Let's set that for the 30-20 that we normally look for, 120, 120 over 80. Although if you're trading NASDAQ, good chance your blood pressure isn't anywhere near 120 over 80. Probably about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes left on this stream today, depending on conditions. Next streams will be Monday evening, Tuesday morning, and also I believe next Saturday afternoon, about 2 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to do a live webinar. Uh, it's more for people that are just getting into earn the trading, or just getting into trading. Uh, I run a Reddit community with a bunch of absolutely brand new people that are interested in trading. So it's going to be more for that, but it's going to. I plan on explaining the whole earn trade process, the funding process, the trading process, the indicators I'm using here, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if anyone wants to tune in for that, that's coming up in about a week. I haven't actually officially announced it, but I think I'll officially announce it today since I just officially announced it here. Stop me if you heard this before, especially if you've heard me just say that before, but we have another new high on the ES. Breaking news! Another new high! Breaking news! Another new high! Bonds? Bonds have been sideways now. Natural gas, also kind of sideways. What's copper doing? Copper continued to move down. So this signal here, this on the 5 minute would have been good. Since this sell signal here, we've gone down about 50, 55 ticks, something like that. Gold's trying to curl back up as well. It's a beautiful little arc. Platinum, which I don't really talk about, but still the charts up is going down, down, down. Russell, sideways. NQ, now pull it back again. Crude oil. Let's see, crude would have reached our profit target there on that trade. Hasn't sent us another signal since. So NQ pulling back again here. Didn't get much out of that move. No follow through on the upside today, it looks like, which is interesting. Yeah, we only got, let's see, only not, well, I mean, it's funny when you say only 19 points. I mean, that's $380. So, when we're seeing this now, so maybe the adjustment is if it gives us another buy signal, maybe we go for a shorter amount. My normal 15 points that I go for non-volatile times would have gotten wins on both of these that ended up being losses. But now on the downside, we got 34 plus, or 30 plus, I mean. Gold. Let me see here, looking out. We got the sell signal on gold, but it's kind of hanging there. The last one failed. This is coming down to an uptrending SMA line. Oh, this is already down one full point. Could have been a quick scalp for a point. Nice, $100. So NQ did pull back here enough to give us a signal. It's interesting that, it's just not it's not playing like NQ normally plays. NQ doesn't usually do this sine wave stuff. It picks a direction and goes. I mean, we're seeing a pullback here on ES as well. But in this market, it's really hard to go short. And this sell signal so far would have been a bum signal. So they'll follow through either way right now. Although if you look at the 5-minute chart, the SMA line's still uptrending. Bonds, James Bonds. So it looks like we're about ready to get a sell signal here on the bonds. Let's take a look at that 1-minute chart or 2-minute chart. Around a 2-minute chart on here. So this big move up, pull back, another move up, bum signal here. It's right above. There's this, slipped away again. Let's check this on the 5-minute. Right at the line there on the 5. We do have a strong uptrending SMA line. We could see a bounce. Looks like the best play on the bonds right now would have been back here where it did pierce the band and pull back, pierce the third band, but it was touching the third band almost all the way up, so it was hard to tell. But this was the biggest wick we saw, biggest candle and biggest wick, so that would have been a good indication that we were exhausted the move, and we could have got a good 10 to 15 tick pullback here. Big move on Kappa. Kappa. Let's take that. What's the worst that can happen? If it stays, we've got 10 seconds, I mean. It is into the bands. Let's quickly check the 5-minute chart. It's right at the SMA line on the 5-minute. We're going to go for it. Buy one. Down one tick on it. There we go. Got some movement upwards. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. Now you see my copper chart. Ah! Well, okay, I'm not on the Gauntlet account. Forgot to change it over from Sim to Gauntlet. So, okay, so we'll watch the Sim trade now. I gotta get I gotta remember this, to get all this moved over to Gauntlet. It had, yeah, that's just gonna be frustrating if this goes to profit. But, save that workspace in NinjaTrader. So, we'll watch that, but it doesn't really matter now. NQ buy signal moving up. So we're seeing low, higher lows here. So it seems like NQ does want to move back up. Big move on the NQ. 8, 9 points on this candle. Okay, we're out of that copper trade that I totally screwed up on. Had the wrong parameters in. I had the wrong account. It pulled back anyway, so that was luck on the good side that I took it on the wrong account. And honestly, that was a bad trade to get into. We see how badly it broke that band, pull back. I had no business being in that trade. It's harder to see when it's like that, though. If you can see the edge of the screen, you're trying to guess there. Looking for one good trade, and I was probably trying to force something there. So you see the natural gas moving back up again. It's also not, has no follow through. Like I said, we would have got out here when it got back. This would have been the extent of the move, and it then would have got out here. So if we had gone short here, we would have only gotten 15 ticks out of that before it pulled back. And now this buy about 16 ticks. It doesn't want to establish. I mean, we could have went in for 10 ticks. It's hard to just play for 10 ticks on the natural gas. Need to save all my charts in case. It's so frustrating if I don't remember to save the charts and then I have an internet outage and you can't save it. Especially since right now my computer's doing weird things where the Wi-Fi adapter is disabling itself and won't re-enable unless I reboot. And I can't save the work that I've done here on these charts. So let's take a look at agriculture. Sell off at the open, both in corn and soybean oil. As moving downward, it's been moving downward pretty much past few hours. Uh, so we're looking to go back up here, moving on up. So you see this failed. Well, actually, did it fail? Yes, it failed. So this would have stopped us out for a 20 point stop. And then reversed right after the 20, which is always frustrating. And then here, we would have got in here. Now, again, 30 points looks like a lot based on these moves. This isn't a normal NASDAQ day. But so far we would have gotten just shy of 15. So if we were shooting for a regular 15 that we knew during other times, we would have got that. Or just shy of it. Let's mark it off for 30-20 and see if anything comes of it. Crude Oil. We haven't heard from them lately. Oh, I heard we did and I ignored it. How did I miss these different signals in crude? Have I not been paying attention? I caught that one. That one would have worked. But this one I would have taken. It looks like it probably would have stopped out. Yeah, I would have. Well, wait. Oops. Yeah, it would have stopped out. This buy signal. Please feel free to say hello in chat. We have a few more minutes here. If you have any questions or anything, we'd love to hear them. So here's the NASDAQ. Pull back again. Then coming back up again. This is not a normal NASDAQ day after the open at all. Its high is 448.50. It's about 14 points off of that. Uh, Someone just passed a gauntlet in the Earn a Trade Discord. Yay for them. Now here's a interesting move on this copper. We got this buy signal that I took in sim. Let's go check what gold's doing before I start rattling. Okay, nothing. And it pulled back because you see it broke the bands. It pulled back, but now it's going again. It bounced perfectly off of this here. So now, this is where we would have entered and we would have got stopped out. But now we're back above here, and this tells me it kind of wants to go. We are at an EMA line on the one. Let's see what the 2 minute shows. And I actually can do that. So I got a 2 minute super trend set up here as well. And it's giving us the buy signal in this candle. Or it was till now. Now it's giving us. So let's go over to our copper chart and move over to the gauntlet account. Move it to the right strategy and buy. So we're down one tick because I marketed in. We're up one tick. Looking for more. Gold. Kind of moving up as well. There we go. That's what we like to see. We're up 6 ticks. Coming up on an EMA line on a 5 minute. So that's could be a resistance point. Pulling back, only up 3 ticks now. Ah, yep, pulling back now. Doesn't seem to want to get above this level, but it's trying. ESNQ saying something. That pulling back again. Wonder if people are starting to sell off for the weekend. Happy with the highs that it reached. Down 3 ticks right now in copper. Ouch. 8 ticks now. See here the 5 minute, and I don't know if this ever, how often this happens. So we kind of bounced off the ATR line right before the EMA. So I don't know if that ATR line really means anything or not, but I have to do some analysis of that this weekend. New 5 minute candle opened here, up 3 ticks. We're still down 6 ticks on the trade. Uh, Close to stop out. Try to come back again. And really, if you get in a trade, you shouldn't hang on every tick like this. I do it for because I will stream and be boring if you didn't get to watch the trades. Probably already think I'm boring. Our SMA line on the 5 minute is almost completely flat. Huh? Trying to push up. There we go. Back to break even. We're in the green now. Let's see if we can continue to push up. Still looking at this EMA line that we have to deal with, which is at 432.70. Our price is at 432.20 right now. Definitely struggling here. Back to break even. There we go. It's at the ATR line now on the 5 minute. Just where it struggled before. Yep, it pulled back again from there. See if we can get through. Part of me wants to close it when it gets up there for the 62. Oh, yep, yeah, back to break even. Bounced again. Let's go see what the S&Q are doing. They're sideways. Yep, they're trying for third time. Again, back up to that ATR line, right below the EMA. Struggling back again. Bounced again. Back to break even. Goes up there again, taking the $50 or whatever. Might not give me that opportunity. Well, maybe. It's trying again. Hey, Jay, yes it did. It went up fast and hard and fast while everyone was sleeping. I've taken 2 losses on gold this morning and a loss on MNQ. Not a good morning. I'm trying to get something out of this copper trade and it doesn't want to give it to me. The 2 gold trades. Uh, just no follow through. We'll go back and look at them then. Since I'm out of this copper trade. Ouch. Okay. Looks like it's gonna pull back now. Back down to being down 6 ticks. We've been down more on this trade, but I'm frustrated that I didn't take it when it was up 6 ticks and constantly bouncing off that same level. Bounced it off 3 times. So it was definitely an area that was struggling. I thought it was going to break it, and it didn't. And now we're heading to a stop out. Yeah, it's trying to come back again. It's teasing me. Gold moving upwards. NQ moving upwards. Crude downwards. Meanwhile, this copper trade, I mean, we're just kind of sideways here. Back to being only 4 ticks down. Part of me says, pull it here, take that as a gift. See if I can push up just to break even or a little higher. I have my cursor on the close. Back down to billing being two. Oh, look at that. We're back in the profit. We were 1 tick away from being stopped out. Now we're 2 ticks in the profit. So you know what? At this point, I'm going to move my stop to break even. If it gives me anything, it gives me something. If not, stops move the break even. We're up 50 bucks on it right now. If it flushes back down, we just lose commission. It's back at that ATR line. Maybe I should take this as the $75 as the gift. It's failed there 4 times. Yep, we're gonna get stopped at break even. Maybe not. One more try. Oh, there we go. Sitting right on that EMA line. Can it break it? Up 10 ticks now. After being within 1 tick of a 15-point stop. That's why, as hard as it is, you got to give the trades time to work. There we go. How about that? Stops trailing. least we'll get out of this now is $125. The trailing stop moved to 10 ticks in the profit. Now it's trailing closer. There we go. Wow. There we go. That was no. That's the type of trade that just if you're hanging on every tick like I did there, it's so much of a range of emotions. It went up. It failed 3 times to get it above this level, and I kept saying I should take this trade, take this $50, take this $60, take this $75. Each time it did that, I'm like, and I said it again. If it hits $75 again, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna take it, and I didn't. I just let it go. I did move my stop up to break even, which worked out, but it got within one tick of stopping me out at break even before going, which means that moving that stop up, if it was going down one more tick, would have robbed me of that, whatever that profit was. And let's go look at what that profit was. Uh, executions. Move this out of the way. Uh, it ended up being good for 16 ticks. So $200. $200 winner. It was one tick away from $187.50 loss. So it moved over $300, like almost $400 from our where we almost stopped out to where we got out. Now it's continuing to go up here. So if I hadn't been trailing the stop, we would have got more out of that. But I'm very happy with that $200. I needed a win today. Uh, hold on one second. So I think that's where we're gonna wrap up the stream today. Um, next stream is let's see, this is Friday, so next stream is Monday evening and then Tuesday morning. Then I plan on webinar next Saturday, but next 5 streams again next week, and then a webinar next Saturday. And so let's have a good weekend, everybody. And we will see you back here Monday evening. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.